हेलो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स एंड फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल किड्स लर्निंग क्लासरूम स्टाइल। मैं शिखा और आप सबको मेरा जय श्री श्याम। जैसे कि हमने अपने लास्ट वीडियो में जो चैप्टर था अडेप्टेशन इन प्लांट्स वो कंप्लीट कर लिया है, और हमेशा की तरह जैसे मैं अपने हर चैप्टर के कंप्लीशन के बाद एक समरी बनाती हूँ या फिर एक क्विक नोट्स बनाती हूँ जो आपको आपके एग्जाम्स में बहुत हेल्पफुल होते हैं। और कभी भी अगर हमें रिवीजन करना है तो इस तरह के जो नोट्स रहते हैं वो बहुत हैंडी रहते हैं। चलिए करते हैं शुरुआत। So in the chapter we had started with habitat and adaptation. We had understood what is the definition of habitat and what is the definition of adaptation. So habitat is a natural environment or place where an animal or plant lives. And what is adaptation? That is a process of change that animals undergo to be able to survive in different climatic conditions and different places where they live. And the adaptation in animals can be classified based on the habitat, means the place they live, the food they eat, the protection that to protect themselves, and in their behavior to survive in extreme climatic conditions. And here is the first one that we had done is adaptation to habitat, and this can be further categorized into terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibians, aerial animals, and arboreal animals. And we'll quickly have a look at these examples and we'll move forward quickly. So here are the examples of terrestrial animals, and see what I have written. So terrestrial animals that live on land, and I have even underlined the important lines. Most land animals have legs to move and lungs to breathe. They have a well-developed nervous system and sense organ to sense changes in their surrounding. Some animals like camel live in extreme hot climatic conditions like desert, and polar bear, penguin live in extreme cold conditions. And in my videos while teaching I had explained what makes them survive in those extreme climatic conditions. Then examples are elephant, terrestrial animals, elephant, dog, lion, cat, polar bear, penguin, seal, etc. Then next what we had covered, we had covered aquatic animals. So what are aquatic animals? Aquatic animals are animals that live in water. And what do they have? They have fins or specialized limbs that helps them to swim. And how do they breathe? So they breathe, they have special organ called gills that allows them to breathe. And some aquatic animals, they directly breathe through the skin. So examples are fish, octopus, dolphin, jellyfish, etc. However, the big aquatic animals like whales and dolphins are exceptions, as they are mammals and they have lungs to breathe. Then the next that we had covered was amphibians. What are amphibians? Animals that live both on land and in water are called amphibians. The term amphibian comes from the Greek word which means dual life, and therefore they start their life in water and later develop the ability to live on land as adults. And here are the examples of amphibians: frog, toad, nurse, salamander, etc. And here also I have written the example of amphibians. Next we had studied was about the aerial animals that can fly. So these animals have lightweight bodies, so they can fly easily. Birds have a special body shape, narrow in front and back, broad in the middle. Such a body is known as streamlined body. And examples of aerial animals are birds, insects, bats, etc. And here is a picture of animals that can fly. Then lastly, in based on adaptation to habitat, we had covered arboreal animals. And what are arboreal animals? So these are land animals, but what is different? They live mostly on trees, and they have strong ribs and hip girdles to help them move. Examples are monkey, squirrel, koala bear, lizard, etc. And here are the examples: monkey, gibbon, chimpanzee, koala bear. And after this, what we had done then, we had studied adaptations for food. So now, since these animals, they live in different places, now the food habits of each of these animals differ. So this has been basically categorized into 5: herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, scavengers, and parasites. What are herbivorous? So herbivorous are the animals that eat only plant. And how does their teeth look like? So they have pointed front tooth. Examples are cow, deer, zebra, giraffe, etc. And carnivorous are animals that eat flesh of other animals. Basically, they kill their prey and then they eat the flesh of that animal. And since they kill those animals, so they have sharp, long, curved teeth to tear the flesh. Example: fox, wolf, lion, shark, etc. And then what are omnivorous? Animals that eat both plant and human animals. They are called omnivorous and they have a combination of teeth. Example: bear, raccoon, woodpecker, etc. And here are the examples of animals. So in middle we have herbivorous. Towards the left hand side we have the carnivorous, and the right hand side we have the omnivorous animals. And then there are two other set of animals. They are scavengers. Scavengers are the animals that feed on dead and decaying organic matter. So even they also eat flesh, but here they don't kill their prey. They feed on animals who are either dead naturally or maybe killed by some carnivorous. And decaying organic matter means these plants that gets decayed, decomposed, on those they feed. Example: vulture, hyena, etc. And then parasites are animals that derive their nutrition by either living inside or on the body of another living organism. Example: loose, tapeworm, etc. And in case if you don't recall any of these topics that I have covered, you can anytime visit my channel and you will find the detailed videos there. Make the best use of this, my dear students. These will help you to have more understanding about your science subject, and also there will be no fear for you all when you will prepare for your exams. The next category was adaptation for protection. So these animals also need to survive, and to be able to survive they need to protect themselves from the predators. So for that, what are the further categories? So some animals, they have strong legs that allows them to escape from their predators. Some have thick skin that allows them to survive in extreme climatic conditions, like camel, elephant, and these polar bear. Then big skin means some animals are very big in size, that helps them to then they don't need to fear from predators, because the predators won't be able to kill them easily and eat them at once go. Then camouflage, and then mimic or imitate other animals. So for strong leg, the example is deer. For big size, we have elephants, and there are many other: frog, hippopotamus, whale. So strong leg, thick skin, and big skin. Some animals move very fast to escape from the predators. Deer, frog are the examples. Some animals are too big in size, hence they cannot be eaten easily by the predators. Example are elephant, whale, hippopotamus, etc. What is camouflage? So camouflage are some animals body color matches with the color of the environment, so due to which they get saved from their predators. Example: owl, arctic fish, grasshopper, etc. And here are some of the more examples: chameleon, leaf insect, zebra, arctic fox. Then we have mimic. So some animals mimic like their predators, so that when the predators approach them, they are unable to identify and then they get saved. So some animals mimic or imitate other animals for protection. Example, moth caterpillars, monarch butterfly, etc. And the last that we had covered is adaptation in behavior. So here the animals do to survive when the weather conditions get extreme in the region where they are surviving, then they bring some changes in their behavior to be able to survive that extreme weather conditions. So what are these further classified into? Hibernation, aestivation, migration. Hibernation is winter sleep, aestivation is summer sleep, migration is, we'll know in the later part. So hibernation is what? A state of inactivity to survive periods of unfavorable environmental conditions, primarily cold temperatures. Example, bear, frog, lizard, etc. And aestivation, a state of dormancy that some animals enter during hot, dry periods, primarily in desert and tropical regions. Example, crocodile, lungfish, etc. And here are the examples of animals that hibernate and in winter, and that goes for estivation periods in summer. And then migration, so the periodic movement of group of animals, especially birds or fish, from one region to another is for feeding or breeding is migration. The example are Siberian crane, blue throat, etc. And here are the pictures of those birds that migrate periodically. Then we had studied about animals in danger. So we had covered two topics in this. One is endangered animals and the other is extinct animals. So endangered animals means the animals that are on the verge of high risk of be getting disappeared. And why is that so? Because of unfavorable climatic conditions, and there are many other reasons that I have already covered in my video. If you have still not watched the complete video, do watch all the videos till end so that you don't miss out on any part. Yes, so examples are Javan rhinos, Amur leopard, black rhinos, mountain gorillas, etc. And here are the picture of the animals who are at high risk of being disappeared from earth. And then lastly we had covered about extinct animals. So the animals that have disappeared from the earth are called extinct animals. And why has this happened is also what I have covered very much in detail. And then so here are the examples: passenger pigeon, saber-toothed cat, dodo bird, dinosaur, etc. And in my video dear, I had also mentioned about how we can show care and concern for animals, though I had not given any notes. But in this summary I thought to give notes of this as well, because it's very important that we understand as what we humans can do to protect or to save animals. So trees are home to many animals, so we should not cut trees. Reuse, reduce and recycle water. It is essential to conserve and protect our water resources. Be in touch with nature. We should visit zoo. Try to help animals that are endangered or are ill-treated. Spread awareness against animal abuse and raise funds for endangered animals. Avoid throwing garbage or waste in water bodies such as rivers, lakes and oceans. And here, my dear students, we have completed our topic adaptation in animals. Hope that you like the video. Do like my video, share with your friends and families, and watch the videos till end. Make a note of each and everything that I teach in my videos. It will be helpful in the long run, because these all topics will be in continuation in your upcoming grades. So to have that strong base, to have that understanding is very important at the very initial stage when these subjects are being introduced to you. I will, we will, the topic, the new science chapter will start in 2 to 3 days. In between, I will upload few English grammar video series, so do watch these two subject series, and there are many other learning content that you will find in my channel. Do subscribe. मिलेंगे बहुत जल्द, तब तक के लिए आप सबको मेरा जय श्री श्याम.